Hello everyone, welcome to Grabs and Deals. My name is Richard Bell and I am the founder of Grabs and Deals. Grabs and Deals is an online discount store. Grabs and Deals has picky deals for picky people because Grabs and Deals knows just how picky you are. Welcome everyone. The title of this video today is called Are You Being Followed While Shopping? Security or someone else? This video today is going to be a follow-up to another reseller who has a YouTube channel. Her name is Lindey Glenn, and on Friday, March 7th, she released a video called The Creepy Reality of Floor Walkers. Harassment or Security was the title, and she asked 3 questions. Why do Walmart floor walkers follow people? Are they stopping theft or harassing customers? What can you do if you are being targeted? And she showed a TikTok clip of former floor walkers for Walmart talking about how they're hired to follow people and they were showing irate customers. In that TikTok video, not Lindey's video, because Lindey just showed a clip from a TikTok video of the floor walkers. They were talking about how they follow people, how Walmart wants them to follow people. They're sitting in their cars. That video, I believe some of it may not be completely true. I don't know that for sure because I don't know these TikTokers. After looking at it, its keyword was there, they're former floor walkers, and me being in the line of work I'm in, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, is I'm wondering, why are they doing that video? Why are they former employees? Were they terminated or did they quit? Were they forced to quit? I don't know. I can't say for sure, but my opinion is there's some kind of disgruntledness with those employees, former employees. My opinion, if you're working any kind of job and you get terminated or you have a difference with your employer and you get terminated or you're forced to quit, don't come online and do videos. That could go against you when you go get a job. What happens if you sign a disclosure agreement? Every time somebody gets hired, there's all these forms you gotta file and everybody's just happy to have a job, so they don't really read the forms. They just sign all these onboarding forms and they go to work. For all you know, the people in Lindey's video, the TikTok video that she showed, the clips, for all you know, they could have signed disclosure agreements. Walmart can come back now and probably go after them. Or a lot of other employees are going to see that or hear about that. They're probably not going to get hired because it's going to tarnish the reputation of the company, or they're going to be afraid of what happens if they get mad at them. Could possibly view them as troublemakers. And not hire them. So now what qualifies me to answer these questions and talk about this topic? I'm a safety and security professional by trade. I started out at the age of 16 as a volunteer firefighter. I went on to be an auxiliary police officer for a while, federal police officer for a while. I had my own security guard training school up to 2 years ago until the criminal reform hit. People didn't want to do security no more, and other companies were not hiring security no more. I'm also a New York State security guard training instructor, certified. So that's what qualifies me to answer these questions today. So I want to get started with the first one. When I talk about this, I'm not going to be talking about Walmart in general because I've never worked for Walmart, but I'm going to talk about my experience and the companies I worked for that were similar to Walmart. So the first question Lindey Glenn had asked is, why do Walmart floor walkers follow people? The short answer to that, I believe they follow people because the store is so big that CCTV alone, is not going to be able to do it. One person running CCTV is not going to make it out the door because you have 2 or 3 different entrances for Walmart, and the store is huge. I don't know how big it is, but where I am, it's over 2,000 square feet. Way over that. You can't cover that. It's huge. It's like taking a walk in the park sometimes. I know for a fact that stores like that, you need more than one security professional. You need people on the floor to cover the entrances, and then you need somebody running CCTV, communicating. Some places use earpieces, but when you're on the floor, they're probably not using earpieces. Most likely they're going to be using cell phones because you're blending in better. That's one of the reasons why I think floor walkers follow people. They're not really following people. They're just out there in general on the floor talking back and forth with the person running the cameras and looking for stuff, maybe telling them, hey, look at this, look here, look there. Years ago when they built these stores, these huge stores, what they did before the technology age, before you even had cameras. When I started in the late 80s, early 90s, the only thing we had, if we were lucky, the luxury was still cameras. They'd be on the wall-to-wall still cameras, like TVs. You'd have a small TV monitors in every department. Over the years, they've been replaced with CCTV, with the joysticks, like playing a video game. You get to go in there and you get to follow people with the cameras. Back then, they didn't have it, and if they did have it, it was a luxury for a store. You got to have a lot of money to have one of those back then. Only certain stores had them. Not everybody had them. It was a luxury. I believe ShopRite was one of the first places to have those cameras. With technology today and online sales, some stores are becoming smaller. Loss prevention people, asset protection people, floor walkers, it's all the same thing. You know, you only got one. So in a small store, you got maybe somebody running the CCTV that's close to the door and they can get out and get the shoplifter. Places like Walmart, you can't do that. So you need to have somebody running CCTV and 2 or 3 people on the floor just to cover the door to make the stop. The next question is, are they stopping theft or harassing customers? They're stopping theft, no doubt about it. I don't believe they're harassing customers. My other question to you is, how do you know they're actually security of the store? You know, if you live in an area, maybe the police are doing an investigation on somebody. They could be doing something with credit card fraud. They could be doing something with gift card fraud. Could be some kind of organized theft ring. So maybe you have undercover police officers in the store following people on a case that they're working. Or it may not even be related to theft at all. It may be related to a drug-related offense or something. So maybe they're just following the individual. So I don't believe that they're harassing customers. I believe they're stopping theft. And a good way for you to do that, to know, if you feel like you're being followed, what I would do, go to another aisle and see if they follow you. Maybe you have 2 or 3 people that was in one aisle, come to your next aisle. Possibly they could be, but I don't believe they are. And if you are being followed, it's probably by a novice, which is a new rookie asset protection specialist, somebody just learning the job that gives themselves away because they're a little nervous and they're kind of learning the job themselves. Or maybe they're just, and it's happened to me. I'm watching somebody in an aisle and somebody thought I was watching them when I was watching somebody else when I started out. I just happened to have to go in the same aisle as that person because the person I was watching goes into the aisle of the person that they think I was watching, but it wasn't, if that makes sense. So the next question is, what can you do if you are being targeted? If you feel you are being targeted, go to the manager and ask them, hey, listen, you know, I feel like I'm being followed. Do you have security in here? They're going to tell you yes or no. If they don't answer, call the police. Maybe somebody's targeting you for another crime. If you're a woman, you don't want to get sexually assaulted. If you have a lot of money, you don't want to be the target of a home invasion. It could be a lot of things. But if you feel like you're being followed, go talk to a manager. If they're not going to help, call the police. And then if they do help you, get the number to corporate or the loss prevention person that's in charge and call them. Write them an email. File a complaint. That's what you got to do. In Lindey's video, one of her followers, they mentioned how they talked to a loss prevention person and they said they followed them because they fit a demographic of a shoplifter. I would never tell no one that. Right there's profiling. Let me tell you, from my years of experience, and I'm in New York, so I saw it all. There are no typical descriptions of shoplifters. A loss prevention officer typically looks for certain types of behaviors, not what a person looks like. And sometimes those behaviors turn out to be due to psychological conditions. There's no typical description of a shoplifter. A shoplifter can be you, a shoplifter could be me, a shoplifter could be a lawyer, a firefighter, a police officer, and yes, police officers. EMT, anybody. So the person that comes in the street with the ripped jeans and the dirty shirt, you say, hey, maybe this guy is homeless, he's going to steal something. Or maybe he's a drug addict, he's going to steal something. Maybe it's the person working construction down the street, fixing a water main break, or doing construction, putting pipes in the ground, and they're coming in for lunch, or they're coming to grab something they need. Some alcohol, some Vaseline, some hand sanitizer. You cannot profile somebody based on looks. It has to be on behavior. With behavior, people act nervous sometimes. They'll go into an aisle. They'll look up and down. They'll look for cameras. They'll start pacing back and forth. There's a bunch of other things that I'm not going to get into because I could just keep going on with this subject forever. Good loss prevention people, professional loss prevention / asset protection / floor walkers, we don't profile people. We look at behavior. We look at behavior of individuals. Summertime, somebody comes in with a long black coat. you know, a young kid comes in with a long black heavy trench coat, okay, maybe that might be something that we would look at. But if an elderly person comes in with a long black coat and gloves, we may not look at that because we understand elderly people get cold. The store is cold with air conditioner in the summertime. We may not look at an elderly person the way we would look at a younger person. If they have the trench coat on and they're looking up, looking up and down and nervous, it's 90 degrees and humid, that may be something to watch because it's a behavior. So good loss prevention people do not profile people. We look at behavior. And if you want, go and check out Lindey's video. Again, her video was called The Creepy Reality of Floor Walkers, Harassment or Security. And let me know what you think. What are your thoughts on floor walkers? What are your thoughts on security? Maybe some of these companies want people out there on the floor to create a distraction to deter shoplifters. Maybe they want the floor walkers out there to be noticed because we have criminal reform over the last few years. Again, I had to close my security guard training school because of criminal reform here in New York. Nobody wanted to do security anymore, and then on the other hand, companies weren't hiring security because they really couldn't prosecute. There was nothing you could do. So why was the company going to waste the money hiring security? Why were security guards going to waste money coming to a school to get certified, to get beat up, to get hurt, and then get fired for engaging? So that is my reason on these questions that Lindey asked today. Again, if you have any questions, put them below. And remember, hopefully you can go online, shop grabzndealz.com. Look at the nice stuff we have. Sales have been picking up. I don't know if it's from YouTube or just in general, but sales on grabzndealz.com has been picking up. And again, Grabs and Deals is an online discount store. Below, let me know your thoughts on what you think about floor walkers and security and being followed. I'm curious to hear that. You can check out Lindey's video also. Her name is Lindey Glenn. Just put in Lindey Glenn on YouTube and it'll come up and you can look at her creepy reality of floor walkers. Have a good week, everyone. Until next video, I'll see you next time. And don't forget your picky deals at Grabs and Deals.